Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the War for Cybertron Kingdom Blaster figure, and of course Eject, who you can see in that top corner there as well. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the box. We're going to do some comparisons with him and some other blaster figures that have been released down the Generations toy line, as well as of course doing some comparisons with the original versions of both of these figures. There we go. He just about fits in, doesn't he? And before we get started though, I want to say a big thank you to Robot Recruits, because that's who I pre-ordered this from, and when it was in stock they've obviously sent it to me nice and safely. Before we open it as well, let's have a look at this amazing artwork on the side of the box. Absolutely brilliant. And this, in all honesty, is one of the figures that I've been really looking forward to having a look at. I think he looks great in both modes. I'm interested to see the transformation process, and yeah, and to be honest, and to see him next to this guy as well, because I want to see what they look like together. So let's get him out of the package then. Right then, I think it's better if we go for the bottom. So I'm going to open this up, and as I say, this has just made its way over to the UK. It's been out only for I think a couple of months elsewhere around the world, so we're not too far behind at the moment, which is pretty good. And this is of course a Voyager class figure, so let's see how big he actually is. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. There's his blaster. There's nothing else around the back. There we go. As I say, he looks, do you know what? He looks absolutely brilliant. Right, what I'm going to do now then, I'm going to set him free from here and I'll come straight back to you. Okay, so as you can see, we've set him free from the packaging, and before we do some first impressions, there's just something I wanted to just share with you very quickly, and it's something that I've only just noticed for the first time, to be honest, probably because I've just opened it from the bottom. It's not on the deluxe boxes either, it's only on the Voyagers, but there is a beautiful artwork there of like a reptile's eye. It looks very much like the Beast Wars as well, or of course it could just be Dinobot from Kingdom, etc. But I've only just noticed that, and lots of people probably commented they've seen that, or maybe they didn't know that was there, but I just wanted to share that with you anyway. Right, let's have a look at the actual figure then, and that is a brilliant homage to G1. It really is. The head sculpt is absolutely fantastic. Yep, it looks like it's on a ball, so it can go up and down, backwards and forwards, left and right. The shoulders, full articulation there, as you'd expect. There is a waist swivel, same with the hips, multifunctional, multi-directional. The knees do bend. That is very stiff, but they do bend. And we do have an ankle rock. That surprised me. I wasn't sure if we were going to have that there. There's a bicep, of course, flexion, and the wrist looks like it's mainly for transformation purposes. There's translucent plastic there at the front. There's a lovely Autobot emblem, and I think, yes, all of the buttons, they are all connected together. So when you push one of them in, they all go in, and it opens up the cassette deck. Lovely. Here is, of course, Eject. I'm not going to transform him yet, but he looks nice. I'm loving the translucent plastic. It's exactly the same, of course, as all the rest of the cassettes. So here's Knock as well, and you can see it's pretty much exactly the same. For those of you who are wondering, it is quite a bit smaller than the Generation 1 cassettes. There is Steeljaw, and you can see there is quite a big difference between them. The blaster as well is a brilliant homage to G1, and here is the new blaster's blaster, and then here of course is the original. Again, just quite a bit bigger. We'll do some more comparisons in a second, but before we do that, let's have a detailed look at him in his alternate mode. So here he is in his alternate mode. Quick apologies for not doing the transformation process on this video. That's to not spoil it for anybody who wants to do it for themselves, and of course to keep the length of the video down. But as I've just said, it will be in a separate video. Let's have a look at it then. And you know, there's a lot of detail on the front. It does look good. We've got the handle at the top. It is just very small. I suppose that's not being picky. I'm just saying it's small. If I want to be picky, I just don't like the back. Again, it's the same as with the Netflix Soundwave. I just think there's too many gaps. I think there's too many holes. Granted, you're probably never going to display it facing the other way, but I just think, again, exactly that. There's too much going on here. What you have got there, though, is a tab in between there, and what you can do is you can take the gun, and there's a little cutout there you can see. So what you can do is you can store everything on it while it's in this mode. If you wanted to, of course, we can press the button there, the tape cassette deck will open, and of course we can slot eject in like so. Is it gone in? Yep, there we go. So you can of course store everything there if you wanted to. It looks all right, but I'll show you what I mean by everything on the back. And again, I know this is an incredibly basic toy and it's nowhere near as detailed as this. You can see the size comparison again though, of just how much bigger the G1 figure is. And again, granted, the Generation 1 figure of Blaster was massively out of proportion and out of scale to everything else, but if we spin it around at the back, it's just all nice and flush, whereas this one does have all of that going on. So it's okay, it's not too bad. It looks good from the front, you can see, in fact it looks very good from the front, but for me, just being that little bit maybe picky, they perhaps could have made a bit more effort, but again, it's at the back. So what we're going to do now, we're going to come back with him in his robot mode again, and we'll do some more comparisons and some final thoughts. Okay guys, we're back for the final time, and as you can see, we've got him back in his robot mode, and in all honesty, this is 100% the way I'm going to be displaying him. I pretty much display most of my figures in robot mode anyway, but this is stunning. It's so much better than the alternate mode. The alternate mode's okay, but this is brilliant. Before we look at his accessories and do some comparisons, I just want to highlight to you here that he does have this extended finger here on the one hand, and this is brilliant because this is again a bit like Soundwave, who can eject all his minions. He can do pretty much exactly the same. You can even get him to do it by pressing the finger forward here, and it will pop the chest out like so. So that's a great little gimmick. It's brilliant that they've added that, and I think it's, yeah, it just tops it off, to be honest. Let's take eject out then. Let's just close the chest bit back up. I'm going to pop the gun in his hands, but before we go on to some comparisons, let's just have a look at the cassette. So what we're going to look at doing is we're just going to pull the leg open like so, like there, pull these out. Lovely use of the translucent plastic. Turn it round, you can make out where they've molded a foot on it, and you can see the back where it's all hollow. So we'll turn it around this way. Same with the hands, we'll fold these out, turn them around to where you can see that they've molded the hand. Turn it around. I think the translucent plastic looks fantastic, and now I'm going to try and pick the head out. Haven't got any nails. Oh, managed to get it though. Pick it out, turn it around, and there is eject. While he's in my hand and I've got focus on him, let's have a look at the original G1 eject. And again, he's much bigger. He's much bigger. Everything at the moment, especially with Blaster, with G1, is much bigger. Let's get him to balance back there. And there is the new one. They both look good though, and as you can see, he is a great homage to him, even if he doesn't have any weapons at all. Right, there he is. Perfect. Let's just pop these down out of the way for a second. Let's bring him right into the middle. So what we're going to do, we're going to do some comparisons with some other blasters. Now, I don't think I've got them all, but I've got a few of them down the Generations toy line. And the first one that I've got is, of course, the Fall of Cybertron one, and that came out in 2012. And again, this is quite a big version of him. But yeah, I like this guy better. This guy's totally different. The Fall of Cybertron toy range, I did really like them, to be fair, but obviously the alternate mode, with it being a car rather than a cassette deck, isn't exactly right. Next was the Titans Return version, and this guy again is just huge. This guy wasn't too bad, to be honest. I'm still quite impressed with the Titans Return one, but you can see that this guy's just got more detail and looks really good. Really impressed again with how all of the Blaster toys are lining up and looking together. But the main one we're going to do a comparison with is, of course, this guy, and he just looks very much like him, but exactly as we'd expect. A much more updated version. The head sculpt again is perfect. The old head sculpt is not really accurate or cartoon accurate, but of course this head sculpt is, and the rest of the toy is a brilliant homage to this particular one here as well. Right, let's just move him down, and again, I suppose, yeah, just some final thoughts. Robot mode, absolutely stunning. Alternate mode is very good. They maybe could have put a little bit more effort into the bits at the back, I don't really know, but I'm sure, as I say, most people get out of jail, myself included with it, will be the fact that they will never ever be displaying it from the back. Anyway, just one final thing that I wanted to do, and that is, of course, because we've got him, it wouldn't be fair, would it, not to put him next to Soundwave. That is, of course, the Netflix Soundwave, and yeah, he's a little bit bigger, isn't he? Look, he's bigger than him in height. They've got the same space in the chest because you can fit, they're both exactly the same size tapes, to be honest, so obviously they will fit. But there you go. I think this completes the lineup brilliantly, to be fair. I'm really pleased they managed to pull him ahead. Obviously, with him being one of the last figures released in Kingdom, if you can't get him with the Kingdom packaging, don't worry, you'll be able to get him in the Legacy packaging very, very soon. But there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed looking at him. Hope it helps with your decision if you wanted to get one as well. Keep your ideas and suggestions coming forward, and of course, please take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.